This is the day the Lord has made. Let's rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you guys for tuning in. It is Monday, October 17th, and this is day one of my marathon journey, and I invite all of you to be a part of it. Now, I didn't really get a chance to do a video earlier this morning, but I did get a little bit of a workout in. So I just got right back to doing some strength training, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I felt a little tired when I got up. Yesterday I was not very active, but today I wanted to get off to a positive start, and so I just did a few strength training exercises, especially for my legs. I posted a couple of posts on Facebook and Instagram, and I believe I posted one of them on Twitter, and that was the Bible verse of the day, Proverbs verse 1 through 7. Proverbs 1 verse 7. And with this platform, I'm going to be taking it into a slightly different direction, especially on TikTok. But before I begin with that, I want to encourage all of you, if you're not subscribed already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel at Freedom413, and you can also follow me on all social media platforms. You can follow me on Twitter at FreedomRunner5, and you can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, same username, The Freedom Runner. That's the _Freedom_Runner. Not hard to find. Now, as I was saying earlier, I'm going to take this platform into a slightly different direction, and it's going to be less political but more motivational, and I want to be able to encourage people to achieve better lifestyles. It's going to start with me. You know, for things to change, we have to change. For things to get better, we have to get better. To quote the late and great Jim Rohn, we got to change our mindsets if we want to achieve better lifestyles. It starts with the mind, guys. The quote that I posted on Instagram and Facebook: when you feel like quitting, think of why you started. There have been many times when I felt like quitting, when I felt like giving up on my marathon journey, when I felt like giving up on trying to achieve goals that I felt were not attainable. And when I thought about that, then I took a good look at myself in the mirror, and I didn't like what I saw. So then it forced me to shift my mindset and to think about why I got started in the first place. But it doesn't really matter what your goal is, whether it's to lose a few pounds, or whether it's to put on more muscle mass, or to achieve a personal best in a race. You know, everybody has a goal, and some goals are harder to attain than others. And that's okay, because if it were easy, everybody would be able to do it, right? We forget that we should be embracing the difficulty of achieving those said goals. But then when you finally realize those goals, it becomes more worth it. All the hard work, all the sacrifice, all the emotional pain that you've endured along the way becomes more worth it. The early mornings, for those of you who love to get up early in the morning and get your workout in. The late nights, for those of you who love to do it while everyone else is asleep. It'll be worth it. There are a lot of people who I've spoken to over the years that said that they can't do it. And for example, you know, I could bring up running, and they'll tell me that they can't even run a block, let alone a mile. And I look at them like they're crazy and say, of course you can. All it takes is practice, practice, practice. It just takes getting your butt off the couch, getting yourself in better shape. You can run a mile. It doesn't matter how fast or slow you run it, you can still do it. And if you can run a mile, you can run 25 more. I keep telling everybody it takes 4 to 6 months to train for a marathon. All it really takes is consistency with what you're doing. And it's not just marathon running, it's basically anything you do in life. It takes consistency and it takes hard work. It'll take a little sacrifice. What are you willing to give up? Are you willing to give up going out and partying on a Friday night or a Saturday night? Are you willing to give up watching your favorite TV show for an hour? Are you willing to give up binging on Netflix? Are you willing to give up your favorite comfort foods that might not be healthy for you? What are you willing to lose? What are you willing to sacrifice to attain your goals? And this is why people say it's so hard, because they're not willing to give something up. In order for you to get something that you want, you gotta be willing to give up something in return. Give up something that you don't need, something that's not gonna benefit you. For some of you, it may have to be your favorite TV show or your favorite series on Netflix or Hulu or even on YouTube. For some of you, it will have to be giving up shopping every time you get paid. For some of you, it may have to be giving up your Friday nights or your Saturday nights with your friends. And let's talk about friends. If your friends are not willing to support you and you chasing your goals, you need new friends. If they're talking you out of getting the workout in and joining them for a party, it doesn't matter what the party is about, then maybe you need new friends. Maybe you just need to give them up instead. It's one of the benefits I have of training alone and having a very, very small circle. I'm not encouraging you to just flat out dump your friends. Don't misunderstand me. But like I said, if your friends don't support your goals and try to talk you out of attaining them, you need new friends. If your hobbies are what's holding you back, you need new hobbies. In fact, you probably just don't need hobbies at all. Maybe one or two, but you got to think of what's important to you. There are going to be times when you're going to need some downtime. There are going to be times when you're just going to need to rest. Everybody needs to rest at some point. But you got to figure out for yourself, how much of that rest do you need? Because some people tend to rest more than they should, and then they wonder why some goals aren't met. There are people who just love to sleep in the morning. People who love to sleep in. People who love to go to bed late and then sleep in. And then they wonder why they don't see results. There are people who love to go out to their favorite hot spot, their favorite bar, or their favorite nightclub and drink until they fall flat on their faces, and then wonder why they can't drop a few pounds. There are people out there who wonder why it's so difficult to gain muscle when they're not willing to hit the gym, or when they're not willing to do the strength training exercises. Even if they don't even go to a gym, you can still do strength training exercises at home. It's not that hard. There are people who wonder why they can't reach a personal best if they're not willing to do the work required to do it. Life happens. Injuries can happen. Things are going to happen that are out of your control. The only thing that you can control when something like that happens is your mindset. Are you going to let that defeat you, or are you going to bounce back, make a couple of adjustments, shift your mindset, and keep going? That's the only way you're going to win. It starts with the mind, with the belief. First of all, your belief in God, especially for those of you who are Christian, your belief in God and your belief in yourself. Even when no one else believes in you, believe in yourself. God has given you the tools necessary. You have everything around you. It's up to you whether you want to use those things or not. Because if you don't, you're doing God a disservice and not using the things that He has blessed you with. And you're also doing yourself a disservice, and you're holding yourself back. And then all you're left with is an excuse. When you want something bad enough, you'll find a way. It doesn't matter how long or how many times you try, you'll find a way. Eventually, you will find a way. If you don't want it bad enough, you'll have excuses. But you gotta be honest with yourself. Do you want it bad enough? I hope you get something out of this. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, God bless.